if words control you, that means everyone else can control you. And that's where we are today. But if you choose to follow this, you're going against everything you've been taught since you were in the second trimester in your mom's tummy. Be obnoxious. But most of you would rather be a pleaser than be obnoxious. Doesn't mean you don't help old ladies across the street. Doesn't mean any of that, But be obnoxious. Demand accountability. And they won't want to talk to you, They don't want me at any more meetings. Because, I make the accountants accountable. I make the lawyers accountable. I make the bankers accountable. My relatives don't want to see me because I said, what have you done in the last 10 years of your life, you piece of shit? Now, what kind of Thanksgiving dinner is that? As Mr. Tyson said several years ago, just keep putting yourself into the grinder. But see, you avoid confrontation, most people. You avoid the grinder. I look for the grinder. I run towards the gunfire and I kill everybody. Because the role model I had was my father, who, for those of you that Google fucked him, was an assassin for the CIA and killed between 13 and 23, depending on what story you want to believe. Who they brought out of retirement, allegedly, to cover up the assassination of Robert Kennedy in the Sirhan case. That's my role model. Well, who's yours? You don't have any. Or poor role models. I would rather you not have a role model than a poor role model. My father didn't have a dad. His dad died 3 months before he was born. Most of the kids keep their jobs. Josh had a 60-hour-a-week job, and he worked 60 hours a week on QLA as a teenager, making his first millions. Most keep the job until they make their first deal, assuming that first deal is cash flowing like I'm teaching you. I tell students, if you're in the first year of university, drop out. If you're in the second year of a 3-year program, finish. And the same thing, if you're in the first year of medical school, drop out. But you can work and do this. But you've got to understand, no family life. 0. So, don't bullshit yourself. Get an apartment away from the family, a little shack or someplace, because default's a bitch. We are the average of the 5 people you hang with, you chill with. If I were to judge you by the 5 people that you are exposed to most, I wouldn't think much of you. Success leaves clues. Andrew Carnegie, hard as fucking nails. Henry Ford, harder than fucking nails. John Davison Rockefeller, hard as nails. Steve Jobs, hard as fucking nails. Elon Musk, hard as fucking nails. Workaholic. Elon, after Vance noted that only hundreds of people were working at Tesla's headquarters on a Saturday. Only hundreds. Apple CEO gets up at 4:30 in the morning, has calls, sends emails, and expects responses. Hard as fucking nails. Amazon, 80 hours to keep your job a week, 85 hours to be considered for promotion, 90 hours to possibly be promoted. And it's not forced by the company, it's forced by the employees. Hard as fucking nails. Bill and Elon, they share one trait. They keep their diaries in 5-minute increments. Most of us, myself included, can't even say hello in 5 minutes. That means they have 12 appointments an hour. And QLA is not just for making money, although there's no better program. This kid came to me 3 or 4 years ago, wanted to win the British Archery Championship. 18 months later, he went from firing 500 arrows a day to 2,000 arrows a day. He won University Championship 2017. And I am, or was, the $50 billion man. I have teenage multimillionaires to the largest deal in recorded history. $500 billion, Neom, city of the future in Saudi Arabia. You can be unethical and still be legal. That's the way I live my life. Notorious workaholic Elon Musk is so tied to the office that he's been known to sleep on the floor. I slept in my office the first 10 years. Sir Richard Branson slept in his office the first 10 so years. Bill Gates slept in his office first 10 or 15 years. What about you? My mentality is that of a samurai. I would rather commit seppuku, that means suicide, than fail. He would rather kill himself than fail. Jack Ma, Alibaba fame. Nobody talks about his 996 program. Come to work at 9, work till 9, 6 days a week. We've had 16-year-olds come through. We have 13-year-olds making $100,000 a month. Did everybody hear that? 13, 14-year-olds making $100,000 a month. And what the fuck are you? And you had to scrape your pennies together to be here. To be here. I told the kids, we don't need you. You know what you're doing. And poorness rubs off.